Well, ladies and gentlemen, you guessed it. It's Wednesday night. It's 8 o'clock British summertime, which can mean only one thing. It's time for the Studio Rats Live. Was that too much?
Yeah, I like the canned applause. Canned applause. It doesn't fade out nicely, does it? It's like 1980s or 70s sitcom, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
laughing and applause. Yeah,
Paul
good.
Paul said something funny. Can you believe number 62 of this? We already have people in. We already have questions going on. Welcome to Vincent Paul, Daniel S. Dave Stockton is in. Safety is in the house. But as always, it is my duty to ask Mr. Drew, what have you been up to this week so far?
Do you know what? I haven't been up to a lot. I've just been doing. So I did a Boss Katana preset pack yesterday because I always get asked for Mark 1 preset packs. So that's doing all right. And then, do you know what I thought I'd do? Every time or every day I get asked a question in the comments. How do you import patches into the Boss Katana? How do you? So you see, Boss Tone Studio. So I did a whole video on Boss Tone Studio.
All right.
Hasn't done much. I'm glad I worked on that.
The thing is, though, that's what is referred to in the trade, and there is a trade as a slow burner.
Definitely a slow burner.
We'll do. We're around for a while. It'll be a long tail piece, I think.
I've had word from PRS that my guitar is ready, and it's shipping on Friday. Do you know what? I'm going to ask you a question. Because I had a question from them.
Yes.
They said, PRS said, since the guitar has shell on it, shipping had to file an EDEC.
Yes.
What's an EDEC?
It's basically to do with shipping animal and natural products around the world.
See, I should have asked you.
Environmental something certificate. Something certificate. It's basically to do with natural products and stuff that is mother of pearl, abalone. They're all harvested, but they're endangered. It's like you can't have coral on a guitar and ship it because coral is a natural substance.
Never seen that. It's a good idea, though, James.
Well, okay. Sidestepping briefly the coral thing, we were in Las Vegas on our honeymoon several years ago. My wife and I, not you and I. And
I tried. He wouldn't have me.
No, we were staying at the Venetian, which is a beautiful hotel. If you ever have the chance to go there, stay there, enjoy it. But all these hotels, you think of hotels in the UK as a lobby and some rooms and a bar, maybe. Oh no. This particular had a shopping mall, as in like a beautiful upmarket boutique shopping mall. And Jen and I decided we'd buy each other something as a gift from our honeymoon. And we were walking past this particular shop, and I looked in the window, and there was a beautiful drum kit, but yay big, kind of an ornamental drum kit in this beautiful black kind of translucent-y stuff, beautiful miniature gold hardware. It was perfect. I mean, it was absolutely perfect. This thing.
Hold on, it's what perfect for you to buy your missus?
No, she was going to buy me for my gift.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, yeah. I think she'd be very happy about that.
It was beautiful, and she said, "There's no price," and I went, "We can't afford it," but we went in anyway, and it turns out that even if we could have afforded it, we couldn't have taken it home because it was black coral.
Oh.
And it was $48,000.
What? Jesus, it's what, $48,000 for a piece of old tut. It sounds like, I tell you what you should do. You should go down to Eastbourne, go on the pier. They sell stuff like that.
Not quite the same.
Right, hold on. We've got some questions. Oh, do you want to see a picture of the guitar?
Yes.
It isn't the actual picture, but it's the actual one. Let me zoom in on this. Because
all right. Share your screen.
I'm going to share it. Hold on.
on.
I was going to share it. Hold
Go
on.
on.
Here we
Go
go.
on. God damn
Go
it.
on, go on, go on. Hold on. Right. I forgot how to do it. Share. Right. Got it. Share screen. Share that. Share.
Now, no.
Are you all ready for this?
Yes. Da da da.
Okay.
Oh, that is quite pretty. So that's two of those. What are they called? They're called
Narrow fields.
Arrowfields and a proper humbucker. That's pretty.
It's pretty, isn't it? Nice bit of wood on it. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a
Nice.
bit of that. Look forward to that. Looking forward to getting that. Let's close that. I'm going to. Can you take me out?
You're out.
Nice. Okay. Good. I can close that screen.
So-
Should we do? And I need to ask you what you're doing,
Yes.
and then we've got loads of questions we need to
Yes.
do. So, what have you been up to? More
Well-
importantly, come and show us, because I've got loads of questions about it that I couldn't ask you until tonight.
Okay. So a dear friend of mine called Paul Drew sent me a text this week saying, "Check this out if you're in the market for a guitar."
Can I just say, I would have bought it. The whole reason why I showed it to James was because if I hadn't have bought that or ordered that from PRS, I would have bought this.
Right. So long and the short of it is, boys and girls.
Oh, hold on, Shahar. Yes, it is the McCarthy burst. Yeah.
So Mr. Drew is not the only one.
Look at that.
Got himself a PRS.
See, the thing I think I'm excited about this maple neck. So show us the back of the neck first.
Maple neck.
Maple neck. Great.
Maple neck. It's not finished. It's like what they call it, wax type
Oh, is it? It's a natural. It's like an unfinished neck.
finished neck. Yeah,
Nice.
it's quite
Good.
needs a bit of a clean. But this
Look at that.
is apparently it's a Swamp Ash special, and it's really rather lovely. 3 narrow fields, the PRS trem, 5-way select.
Can I say best trem ever invented?
Do you know what? It is very good. I'm very impressed with it. You can be silly with it, and it still pops back
Brilliant.
in.
And it sounds great.
Yeah. It's a bit lovely.
So it's got 3 narrow fields.
Yep.
Is it right? Because I haven't tried narrow fields yet.
Yep.
So they're a bit single coil. Apparently they're quite sort of P90 sort of sounds.
Okay. So I would say my experience thus far is at full tilt on ye olde. Basically, this guitar requires a volume control to get
Yep.
any kind of tone variation out of it. At full tilt, I would say it's very humbuckery. They're very bluesy, very oozy.
Oh,
Wind it back a little bit, and it becomes single coil. You get that brightness. You
interesting.
get a really kind of. You don't lose much actual volume, but you get a lot more brightness.
Can you just have a tug on the on the?
It's
No,
not-
they're not tapped. No. I do it's tone control. They normally do the tap on. No.
No.
Okay.
It is the tightest tappy thing.
Yeah.
They're not.
Nice.
I can't. I don't know how to start digging through the serial numbers of how old it is or whatever it is. It's got a tiny little ding there,
Yeah.
tiny little scratch, in the finish, whatever it's nitrocellulose. Is it nitrocellulose or whatever?
I honestly don't know, to be honest, because some years they did nitrocellulose and some years they didn't. So it doesn't look it, to be honest.
It's a 2-piece body. It's carved. No, there's no top on it as such.
It's great, isn't it?
It's really tasty. It's really, really nice. I like it very, very much. And it's not a guitar tone I've got, if that makes sense, because these are very, very different to anything. If they're P90-esque, then I don't need a P90 guitar, because these sound great.
Really? Nice.
I don't know the P90 sound enough, but to me, I just wind that back a little bit, and you've got instant single coils.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I love it.
The middle one's a bit of a weird thing.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's more use as a blend pickup rather than a pickup in its own right.
Interesting. Why did you say that?
Just because, but the difference between that and that is quite great, and the difference between that and that is quite great. But the difference between that and that is not that much difference, in my opinion.
Oh, I can't wait to try it out. That's interesting.
But it's really
yeah. It's great. Nice one.
very playable. Took me a little while to get my hands around it because it's quite a beefy neck.
What is it? Is it a fat neck?
Quite chunky, yeah. I mean, it's kind of along the lines of my along the lines of my Telecaster.
That's probably a pattern regular, I think they call that. Nice.
It's got bird inlays, but I think they're called shadow finish.
I like that.
Or ghost shadow or something like that. Really nice.
It's nice, isn't it? Because it's like a PRS. It's understated. It's not like a big blingy PRS. It's nice.
Not what I'd call a dentist's PRS.
Lots of people do say that. Do you know what? I bought a PRS. Funny enough, from the Studio 22 I used to own, and I went round to the guy that I bought it off was basically an architect, and I went to his amazing house, and he had like a wall of them. Never played them. It's such a strange thing, isn't it?
The guy I bought that from said he's got 3 more.
Has he? Nice.
Yeah. I was like, so why do you have 4? Well, you don't anymore. You've got 3, but still, you can only play one at a time. Joke.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. And anyway, should we do some questions? Well done, mate. I think that was a good buy. That was a really good buy.
Some more interesting stuff to talk about, but we'll start with that and see how we get on. So it's back to the top for Vincent Paul's question, which we can now do.
I forgot about this. So Vincent Paul says, "Hi, looking for a US punk hardcore tone and a grunge tone for a Boss Katana Mark II. Any ideas?" Yeah, definitely. So, when you're saying punk hardcore, I'm guessing you're thinking like No Effects, and I mean the band No Effects, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So turn off all your effects. Funny that, isn't it? No Effects. Probably use the clean channel and just use one of the overdrives and just don't really use anything else apart from the clean channel and the you've got a Mark II. Switch it to the try the vintage setting on the switch. You can choose the speaker voicing. Yeah. You switch it over to the vintage and a grunge tone. I guess it depends what you mean by grunge tone. So we discussed this before because the question came up before. And probably just replace that with some like a non-articulate distortion, something like one of the fuzzes. Proco rat, the rat setting. I can't remember what it's called in the Katana. It's called rat. It might be called rat, something like that.
Yeah, but I mean,
try that.
You don't want to be something that's defined. When you chug, you want it to be
flabby.
We always joke that Paul's all about clean on the verge of breakup, but you actually want more broken up on the verge of clean, if that makes sense.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Hope that helps.
Okay, next one. One of the highlights of my week watching you chaps. Cheers. Oh, cheers, Daniel S. Thanks, mate.
Dave Stockton says evening, as does Safi, as does John Randall.
And Stephen. Stephen's in from Brisbane again. Nice one. Cheers, Stephen. Lee Abraham says, "Hi guys, just got a Strymon Iridium yesterday. Any thoughts on them?" I've never tried one, but all I've heard are good things. I think Safi's got one. Safi's in the house. Safi can probably fill you in on what he thinks about them. I know that I think some people really like one sound on it. One of the sounds is really, really good, and the rest of them are good, but one sound is really good. I think it might be the AC30. I could be wrong.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice one, mate. Yeah, good choice.
John Partridge also says, "Hi." Shahabar is in the house.
Shahabar says, "Hey fellas, Paul, can you use the legendary Tone V2 mod? It adds a tube in the V2 spot with the Studio Vintage Classic, or is the spacing between the tubes too tight?" Hold on a second. I'm trying to think. Oh, Studio Vintage, as in the Marshall amps. Okay. Can you use a legendary Tone V2? Oh, I don't know. It adds a tube in the V2 spot.
I like the idea of that, though.
I like the idea of that. Yeah, I don't know, mate. That's a really good question.
Don't try my amp though with it. You can try one of yours.
That's it. I've got James's amp here because I don't give a shit about that. I can have a go on. I can try. Yeah, when do you want that? I want to start charging your rent on that.
Piss off. That's your reason I bought that guitar.
Okay. Yes. I'll tell you what, Shahar. I'll ask Marshall, see if I can get a comment from them. I would have thought they'd probably say no. I mean, I don't know, because they're PCBs, aren't they? On the apparently they're PCBs on these amps. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they're not point-to-point wired, that's for sure.
No, they're not going to be. Are they? Not for that money.
Not up for anything under $1,000 is not going to be.
Yes. Okay, next one.
Says, Buenas noches, amigo rats. I like that.
Buenas noches.
Shahabar is also going to be the first one to. I'm going to put this one in just 'cause it's funny.
I wish women were in the habit of giving an engagement amp instead of a ring. It's true.
What would you have if your girlfriend, stroke wife, was giving you an engagement amp? What amp would you have? So anyone who's listening, in fact, I know what I'd have.
Go on.
Dumble.
Bloody, hold on a second.
Hey mate,
if you're worth rich.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you're going to get any amp, I'll have a Dumble.
I think I would like something boutique. I'd like something handmade, something like a Dr. Z or a.
Didn't you have a Dr. Z and you kept blowing it up?
I kept blowing it up, but I love it. That amp was fantastic. Yes, if it sounded great, I kept blowing it up, but it sounded awesome.
Michaeli says, "Please, mate, stop buying guitars."
I can't help it. I can't help it. And I think I'm probably going to start. I'm going to start a one in, one out.
I haven't bought a guitar in 3 years, so I'm allowed. That's my excuse. And I've now moved house, so therefore I'm definitely allowed. Shahabar says about the McCarthy burst. Yes,
it is. Yes, it is. David's in the house. Hi, David. Hope you're doing well, mate.
Right.
Lee Wild says, great show, guys. Any thoughts on the Behringer pedals? Cheap rubbish or actually pretty decent?
May I? You
may.
Okay, so it depends, Lee, on the generation of Behringer pedals. If you get the ones that are Behringer that look very, very much like the old TC pedals, TC Electronic pedals, there's a really good reason for that. It's because Behringer bought TC Electronic, and they literally took the production of the old boards and sent them out to their factory in China to remake them, and they are exactly the same as the TC ones, which is great. So they are bob on. They're cheap pedals. Yes, they're made in China. They are really, really good, but I can't say that the build quality is as great as the ones that look like the old TC Electronic pedals. Is it Dave McKnight? Is that his name? The guy,
Phil McKnight.
Phil McKnight.
The bald guy. Yes.
Hang on. How
I can say that? I can say bald guy.
Well, I can say I'm probably the only guitar reviewer who me and what's his big hair?
Rabir.
We're the only two guys with hair who do this. It seems.
What? I think I'm the only. There's only a couple of baldies.
Anyway, yeah. Basically, he did a video recently comparing the Behringer pedals with other stuff, and do you know what? They're really good. They're really good. It hurts me to say it that they are really good.
I think all the electronics. Yeah, it does. That hurts me as well. We got some Behringer news as well actually later on, but yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. The thing about these boutique pedals, we all love boutique pedals. We really do, and it's lovely to have one, but it's all more or less the same stuff that's inside it, isn't it, James? It's resistors and capacitors.
The truth of the matter is, I bought a fuzz face for a job a couple of 3 years ago now, and I looked inside, and genuinely, there's about 5 components in there, and a bloody great huge pedal, and about 5 components. Now, if you buy, there's a Hendrix edition fuzz face, there's the Bonamassa one, there's an Eric Johnson one. There's about 3 components different in any of them. So I'm actually working on a circuit, which means I can switch between the different fuzz face circuits, but have it on one unit, have it on one pedal, which I think is quite cool. I'm sure Dunlop would be very upset with me doing that, but hey, it's my mod, so there.
Absolutely, have some fun with it. Yeah, hope that helps, Lee. Yeah, buy it. Yeah, Just try them out. I think you'll like them. No. I think you've gone far too. Shahabar. Shahabar.
Terribly sorry. I'm terribly sorry. There we go.
Shahabar says, I got a similar one ordered since February this year. PRS 30th anniversary. Oh, nice. With a 10 top. McCarthy, but oh, nice one, mate. That's a nice guitar. I just hope I don't get taken out by car, bus, train before I get to play.
There's nothing like positive thinking there, Shahab. I like where you're coming from. COVID should probably be added to that list as well, to be honest. Unless you're double jabbed, of course.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a really nice guitar, mate. Yeah, really nice. Yeah. You'd have to come and show us that when you get it.
Matt Wright says, "Hi everyone."
Hi everyone. Hi Matt. Safety says, Iridium is a great unit. Works like magic with all effects. Brilliant. Yeah. Pete Thorne has just done a vid on that V2 mod. Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Probably on I imagine on a
bigger one.
On a bigger one. Interesting though. Gibbs, just guessing, but you don't like Fender amps. That's really interesting. Why do you say that? That's a really interesting.
I'll hold my hand up and say I don't.
I'm not a massive fan of Fender amps, but it's interesting that
they do one thing. They do super clean really well. They do. If you want to cut glass with a guitar tone, a Fender Twin sounds amazing.
But don't you think like Bonamassa's tone, like when he's using a bundle of amps, Fender amps, sounds great.
He could play through a Squire 15 practice amp for 25 quid and it would still sound amazing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, that's pretty fair.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not a fan. I've never made a Fender amp sound the way I like an amp to sound. I have made Marshalls sound like that.
I think Fender amps are really good. But for me, I really like Fender amps like the Tremolux,
Vibrolux,
the Vibrolux. Thank you. Yeah. Anything the Fender Trem circuit for me is magic. I love that. Great for clean sounds, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, I've played with guitarists who, when they turn up with a Fender, I go, oh, just a thing. Someone turns up with a Boogie or a Marshall or something tasty, or even a Black Star or something like that, which is basically a Marshall circuit kind of.
Right.
As long as it's a good one. Yeah.
No, right.
I get quite excited by that. When someone turns up with a Fender, I go, oh. And then I look at the pedal board and go, oh, actually, all they're doing is using it for a power amp. And then you go, fair enough.
You always get like if there's a hired-in amp for a gig, if you're doing like some sort of festival where there's an amp on the stage, and like every band's using those rigs like this bass amp and the guitar, and just bring your pedal board and plug it in. It's normally like a Twin or something, isn't it? That's what I've always found.
Yeah, Twin or a JCM 800, because that's what the hire companies have got a gazillion of.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Okay, next question.
Oh, sorry, no, wrong one. Sorry.
Simon says, met my cousin Nick at the Sidmouth Folk Festival yesterday. He runs his own mastering studio near Bristol, but also plays
Melodian
with the Kate Brusby band. He's recently also started playing.
We don't know what the rest of it is.
It's interesting. I want to see what the rest is.
He's also He's recently also started playing. It doesn't say what the next.
No. Guitar at their gigs. Guess what amp he's using? Oh, that's a good one.
Probably a Fender, because we've just dissed Fender.
Boss Katana.
That would be the obvious answer. It's funny talking about Katanas. The guy who I was talking to, the guy who I bought that PRS from, said, "Do you know anything about Boss Katana? I've just bought a Mark II 100 watt." And I went, "Funny, actually, I've got." And I kind of work with a guy who's done all the videos for. Is that Paul Drew? And I went, yeah,
yeah, famous among a very small population of people.
Yes, but very famous. Yes.
I can't walk out the house, mate.
No,
it's a nightmare anyway.
Legend in your own lunchtime.
Lee Abraham says, "Yeah, my initial thoughts are the Iridium is very good. would love a hair more gain on the plexi mode, having to boost it with an SD1. Interesting. Yeah.
Oh no, you have to bring another pedal. Oh no.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, but I really want to try one. I really want to try one now because that sounds interesting. JR says, "Hi guys, hope you're well. What do you think is the best Gibson Les Paul alternative? Greco, Orville, Gibson, Tokai, Edwards, Maybach, Lester, or other?" God, you're listing some old sort of 70s ones as well there.
The Tokai stuff was always really, really good. Considering you think it's going to be Japanese trash, they weren't. They were really good. I've played some great Tokai guitars.
Do you know what? Out of all of those, I mean, obviously, he's listed. Let's have a look. Orville Gibson. Oh yes, okay. Yeah. Do you remember the Orville ones?
No, I don't.
They were like. Were they Japanese?
I don't know.
They're Japanese made. Anyway, yeah. Without a doubt, I'd go for the Maybach. Without a doubt. Fantastic instruments.
Cool. There you go.
Yeah, definitely go for that. Daniel S. thinking about buying a Gibson SG Standard. Any thoughts? Awesome.
Get a red one because you then can look like Angus Young. That's the only reason.
That's the only reason you need it. Yeah. Absolutely love SGs. I don't have an SG. I used to have a 1962 SG with P90s, and I sold it.
I would like an SG. I have to admit.
Yeah,
I would. Yeah.
Anytime, Lee.
You're welcome.
Anytime. Okay. Lee says, "Why can't I get a decent overdrive tone on the Katana 50 Mark II using an Epiphone Les Paul custom?" There's no reason why, mate. There's no reason.
The only thing I would say is because you're trying to use one of the dirty channels where you should be using the clean channel with an overdrive. That's
yeah. I don't want to, come in here and try and sell the preset packs, but just
but
no, I don't. I'm not like I'm not doing that for that. But I would just download one of the preset packs.
Yeah.
One of the Studio Rex preset packs. I think you'll find something you like on there. If you can't find something from there, I don't know. Maybe it's the guitar.
No, an Epiphone Les Paul is a great guitar.
Absolutely.
I've played a million of them because kids often turn up to those with rock school stuff because they want a Les Paul, but of course parents aren't going to fork out X thousand for an instrument when they're not that good yet.
Of course, yeah.
Although I did.
Sorry, go on.
I did teach one kid who turned up with 4 guitars.
Wow.
He turned up with a Les Paul, a Strat, a 335, and an SG. Real
rich
one.
Parents.
Very rich parents. Very, very rich parents. Oh, awesome. and a two setup Mesa Boogie stereo rig.
What?
It was ridiculous. It was utterly.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Yeah, there's no reason why, mate. I mean, Epiphone Les Pauls are great. You should be getting a good tone out of that.
Check your cable. The only reason sometimes you might get a duff distortion sound is you've got a duff cable. Could be that.
Possible.
Could be anything.
Shahar says, "Paul, love the alternate picking pentatonic exercise you did a week or so ago. Any chance of more videos in that vein on the horizon?" Yeah,
no, I'm good.
Huh? What's that?
No, he's not that good.
Let's have a look. I mean, to be honest, okay, this is what I do. I tend to have a look at the videos that I do, and if they get enough views, that they're sort of worth doing. Let's see what it did. Oh, it's done all right. Yeah. And any requests, Shahar, let us know, mate.
How to play Eugene's trick bag.
Do you know what? That's not a bad one actually, because I can do that.
There's lots in that, isn't there? There's lots of different techniques in it to get it right.
Yeah, but there's that one little riff that I don't actually play in the right place. I'm not even sure that I play it as it is that I've done a couple of times. Yes, that's a good one. It's a really good pull-off exercise. It's really good. Thanks, well, mate.
There you go. I'm glad we were here.
Yes,
as suspected, Simon Cook's.
It's great, isn't it? What a great little. It's a their sound guy uses the line out. Best sound. Interesting.
Mm.
Nice one.
So what are you gonna? So when we start gigging as the Studio Rats live, what are you gonna bring? Or just gonna bring a whole back row full of amps and just spend the whole
No.
gig from one amp to another?
Yeah. Now, I think honestly, I think just the amp one, not
Yeah.
just the amp one. I think the amp one, brilliant, perfect gigging amp, and
Yeah.
and some pedals as well. Get some stuff, all different sort of sounds. But I think it's a perfect amp. The clean sound in that with a drive pedal in front of it is, I mean, as you know, because we did your drive pedal the other day. That's great.
Yeah.
It sounded great with it. In my opinion, so Michele says, in my opinion, the fact with the Fender amps is that they are very different in the mid section from all the English amps, Vox, Marshall, etc. So they are a nice alternative palette, especially with a clon. Yeah, because the Fender amps tend to be mid scooped a bit. I think that's probably why I stick away from them, because I like a mid forward amp.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit more that way inclined as well.
Yeah, I think you are definitely. Yeah. Shahabar says, James Paul, any words regarding the passing of Dusty Hill and Joey Jordison, Slipknot guy? Not sure you're familiar with him. Speaking of which, do either of you fellas listen to metal? So we covered all this last week, and we covered both of them actually. Yeah, both very sad.
Or an RIP. And yes, I listen to metal. I listen to what I think of as metal, as in I listen to Iron Maiden and kind of British, the British new wave metal. I'm not one of these guys who's into hardcore or any of the newer styles of metal. I don't, I like I'll listen to my share of Napalm Death and Slayer and Sepultura. I've lived. It's not on my iTunes playlist right now, but I've listened to my fair share of metal. But I'm a heavy rock. I think is more my sitting in the world, if you like.
Yeah, I'm with you. I quite like Slipknot actually, Shahar. So I have a little Slipknot playlist that I play occasionally when I'm in that sort of mood. I really like the more lighter sort of songs.
But I mean,
great, it's great, awesome band.
I'm not a good. The thing is, I tend to listen to the stuff that I can play, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I've never been one of these people who has to play blast beats or anything like that as a drummer. Doesn't float my boat. So
what's blast beats?
I think the best way to describe it is Google it, but it's like da, 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 where you've got your two limbs are playing against the kick drum. So you're playing jabba 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 jabba.
Oh yeah.
And then you've got and the speed of it. I mean, I remember the first time I saw Metallica live. We'll get on to Metallica again in a minute. They were trying to do one, and the big thing about that is the end, kind of the breakdown bit, the and it's all double kick drum.
Yeah,
and he can't do it. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. It was like everything else was going, and he was going, and I was like, you've
really
copped out completely copped out.
That's such a shame.
Whereas now, there are metal blast beat drummers who do that stuff for breakfast. So,
he doesn't get a lot of love as a drummer, does he?
I think he forgot how to play.
Right.
I think he forgot how to play.
Oh, this is James' opinion, not mine.
What? I already knows.
Let's talk about Dusty Hill. Yeah, the same. Really sad. Did you hear actually? Billy Gibbons has said that they're continuing with, I think, Dusty's roadie or something, playing bass.
That's, at least it's fitting. It's quite cool,
Yeah, and apparently, I mean, I don't know what he died of, but so he must have known that he was passing,
right?
But he gave his blessing for it. Apparently, I think that was the case that I read.
That's good. Well,
that's really sad though.
Yeah, I mean,
great musicians, both of them.
Losing any musicians. I mean, I think it's fair to say Dusty Hill wasn't exactly a spring chicken, whereas 46 for Joey Jordison, that's not old. That is not old in the world that we live in. So, rest in peace, both guys, and our thoughts and prayers and best wishes go out to their families and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So,
Lift the mic. Lefty Mike says, any luck with 2 Notes and getting a Captor X to do a review? Do you know what? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with 2 Notes.
I know what's going on with 2 Notes.
Do you?
I do, and I can't say because I can't, unfortunately. But they are not always the most direct people to deal with.
But I was speaking to Jeremy. And he was great. And Jeremy was all keen. And then I said,
one big problem.
What's that?
And it doesn't go love, love, love. It more goes hate, hate, hate. Anyway, moving on. That's the biggest problem we've got at the moment. It's called Brexit. It just is.
Okay. Could you ever chat? Because I've tried with Jeremy. Can you try? Jeremy is the main guy at
Jeremy Lumsden. Lovely chap.
Yes, is the main guy of our sort of contact at 2 Notes. Yeah, because I've done so many videos on the Torpedo Studio, which is a great unit.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Shall we? Let's move on. But yes, we will chase that up again.
Right.
Gibbs, what kind of cab can you use with the Amp 1? Anything you want, mate. As long as it's either, I think there's an 8 ohm output and a 16 ohm output.
Nice.
They do their own cabs, which I'm talking to them about. Sort of doing some review.
Get a bare face.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Expensive though.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be amazing for live and sound on stage because their directionality or lack of directionality feature thing means you can just hear them everywhere, which is great. You can hear them everywhere. They're not super laser focused like a 4x12. Great. I won't say I'll get you one, but I do have an in with them.
Yeah, if you can have happy to do a review without a doubt. So I've tried it with I've got a couple of different cabs over there. If you ever look, I've got one over there which is a divided by 13. It looks like a 4x12. It's actually 2x12. It's a angled two speakers at right angles. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I've got that Victory 1x12 over there. Both sound great through it. So
did you keep the Yamaha or did you sell it?
Oh, I sold that.
Fair enough.
Good and proper for more than I bought it for, which is good. Always like that.
About 50 quid.
No, I think they were like 100 quid, weren't they?
99.99, weren't they? Bizarrely. Oh well.
Crazy, yeah. Yeah, I think it sold it for 150.
Cool.
Daniel S says, James, any updates on the studio build? Can't wait to see it.
Right. So the update is I have officially pulled the trigger with the people who are going to build it. They are in the design process, as in even at this stage, there's acoustic. Basically, to make sure the dimensions are acoustically friendly for what I want to do. So they don't just go, right, we're going to build you a 11 meter by 5 meter box. We're going to do it, 10.96 by 4.82. So it's even after all the dimensions that there's very little to actually do acoustically to make it sound good inside. There's all sorts of volume analysis and acoustic analysis that happens at this stage. That's where we're at. Once that is done, it will all get drawn into beautiful CAD drawings and stuff for my approval, and then it will go to planning, as in to get planning permission and building regs and building control get involved, and then who knows how long it will take. Hopefully, I'm still pitching in for end of October, by end of October.
Serious?
That's what I'm hoping for.
Wow, amazing.
So yeah, there's your update, Daniel S. Yeah, don't worry, I'll keep you posted. When there's when there's something tangible to look at, I'll do a video and show you the plans.
Show some plans and all that. Yeah, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Shahabar says, sorry for the barrage of questions. I'll sit back for a bit. No, mate, it's all good. It's all good. Actually, do you want to post the you haven't posted the link to the show, James?
Have I not? How?
You haven't yet.
Absolutely. How of me. terribly sorry. If anybody wants to join in, come and chat with us live in the show. There are the links. They've both gone out on social media, on the Facebook and on the YouTube. That makes me sound really old and fuddy, doesn't it? But hey,
hold on. Next question. Lee says, one of my comments is grayed out. Any ideas why? I can't see that.
I can't. Maybe we can't see it. Was there a naughty word in there, Lee? Did you swear it up? Is that what it was? Don't know. Try posting again. There you go.
Yeah, it wasn't us. It wasn't us graying out your comment. I don't know why.
If it was a mistake. So very sorry if it was me, but I don't think it was.
Lee says, JHS video compared plastic Behringers with the real deal. Vintage tube OD was identical to the real 808.
That's the video I saw. Sorry, it was JHS. It wasn't Phil McKnight. Yes, very interesting. Yeah, someone who knows what they're on. Someone who knows what they're on about was comparing them, and very favourably. Awesome!
Wow. Shahar says, by the way, saw King Crimson yesterday here in the States in Denver. His mind was blown. My mind was blown. Robert Fripp and Tony Levin slayed it, and all three drummers were phenomenal. Awesome.
There aren't many bands where I can, because one of my favourite drummers is currently playing with King Crimson.
Who's that?
Gavin Harrison.
Oh, is he? Excellent.
And he is just a monster.
Right.
We were talking about drummers who look really fluid and natural, and to me, he just makes it look so easy. Bastard.
Yeah. Only downside, only 50 people showed up, which was a shame.
Wow.
It's quite. Wow. You think King?
It's quite niche.
Yeah,
but
I don't think I'd go. To be honest, it's not my.
I think I'd go. I don't know how long I'd stay, but I think I'd go. But if it's someone like that, I think I'd go to say I'd been, as much as I'd see Tony Levin sing in the shower, to be honest, because I think the guy's amazing, and say Gavin Harrison likewise. So
I think you're right. I'd go for Tony Levin, definitely.
Robert Fripp, if Toya was there, maybe.
Mate, she's old enough to be your mum. You can stop this fetish of yours.
Yes, anyway.
David Brose. Right, Dave. I thought Billy Gibbons would do a Ringo thing instead of continuing.
Ringo's thing's great. The Ringo's All Stars. Because
Lukather, isn't it? Yeah. Lukather's in it.
Has been for a while, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Very, very awesome.
Lee says, recently bought an Epiphone Les Paul Custom, brand new from GAK. Should I get professionally set up or at least change strings on? Oh, mate. Okay. Or at least change strings or not worry about it. So without a doubt, change the strings. They're not going to put good strings on that. I wouldn't have thought.
No.
So yes. And if I'm honest, yeah, I think I would, depending what sort of stage you're at with your playing, I think I'd get that set up.
I would. I'm getting that set up, even though it's fine. I want it set up by my guy. I want to put 10s on it. It's got 9s on it, and the action's a bit high. I don't mind a guitar you've got to fight with a little bit, but it's a bit high.
Is it?
A little bit, tiny bit.
Okay,
but it's all right.
I can sort that for you.
All right. Well, I'm going to do a bulk run to my man Steve at Guitar Lodge very soon. Take a load of them, get rid of them. So
nice.
We'll get them all sorted.
Simon Cook says, I think I've decided on the double denim look for my audition. Good man. Probably more important than my playing. Got 5 songs, Lizzie, Queen, ZZ, etc. with twin lead rhythm. Would I be best downloading? I think maybe the
suitable patches for each song. I've got 3 weeks to get my act together, he says on the next question. Sorry.
Suitable patches for each song.
Nah, you need, in an audition situation, I would say, if anything, you need 6 patches, of which they are a clean and a clean boost, an overdrive and an overdrive boost, and a lead boost. Those are your patches. That's what you need, in my opinion.
No, and I agree with you. I think the sort of, if you're doing Thin Lizzy, Queen, ZZ Top, I don't think you need as many patches as you would probably think. Fairly similar sort of sounds, I would say.
Maybe have a chorus pedal there for some of the Lizzy stuff. Maybe have a delay pedal for some of the Queen stuff.
Nice. Yeah, that sort of stuff. Yeah, good luck with it, though, mate. Good luck.
And just walk in going, whatever you want, whatever you like, and the double denim thing automatically works.
Definite double denim. Definite. Shahar Bar says, I've been asking way too many questions. Sorry, last one. No, it's all right, mate. No, ask away. It's all good. We like questions, don't we?
Do.
UA Ox, James. Oh, I see, because James, you've got one in the background. We've both got one, actually. Versus Tube Boss Tube Amp Expander. I've got both of them.
You know what? Not the only reason. The main reason that is there is because I'm in this room. Normally, I'd have the Grossman set up, and I'd have microphones inside the cabinet. I'd be using the Grossman, a real cab,
right?
Because to me, it sounds amazing. I know that sounds amazing, but the purist in me likes amps and speakers and microphones. I've got microphones. I like playing with microphones. That's quick. That's very, very quick to make great noises, and it does sound great. And when I even since last week, I haven't actually set it up yet. I just haven't had time. But you know, I love speakers and cabinets and stuff and microphones. So that's what I like. That's one of the reasons I sold Paul the 2 Notes Torpedo Studio. Well, kind of semi-swap.
Which I love, yeah. It's a really difficult question. They both do different things really, really well. So the Tube Amp Expander's got it's got a 100-watt amp built into it. So, for instance, if you've got something like one of these smaller Marshall amps, one of the Studio series, you could take it along and the Tube Amp Expander, and then make it even louder.
Nice.
Also, the thing that's really good about the Tube Amp Expander, and I think these sort of things probably answering the question, are the effects you can run. So if you've got an amp like an amp that hasn't got an effects loop, and say you like running your delays in the effects loop, you can use a Tube Amp Expander to do that. So it basically runs like an effects loop where you take the output out of your non effects loop amp, so straight out into the Tube Amp Expander, and then you can put effects into it as well as use the onboard effects, which will then also come through your speaker, your guitar speaker. The aux doesn't do that. So the aux, even if you put reverb and delays on the aux, that will not come out your delay speaker. That will only come out of the DI outs.
Yes. So
I would probably say Tube Amp Expander.
And for exactly the same reason, that's why I'm going to go aux, because there's so many other options. I just want good guitar sound, controlled, boom, go, which is why I like the aux.
Yeah, that's fine. But if you want to, just say you've got an amp and you want some nice reverb, the Tube Amp's got it. That's got it all built in. That will come out of your main guitar speaker.
Yeah,
it's a really good unit.
Really good.
Lefty Mike says, any more about getting Thomas Blug on for an interview? So the person that deals with, so I'm going on Thomas's show on the 11th because James is off. We need to say that, actually.
We do, yes, we do. We will.
Is that next week?
Next week.
Oh, okay. So we're not going to be about next week, are we?
No, we're not. I'm on holiday. Sorry.
So next week, I'm going on Thomas Blug's show on the Wednesday. And what was supposed to happen, he was supposed to then come after that. As soon as he's finished his show there, he was going to come on this show.
I'm on holiday. Sorry.
But James on holiday. And to be honest, he's not interested in talking to me. He wants to talk to James. that's not the case actually, but he didn't give monkeys about you. But
Fair
so it's going to be the week after or the week after that. We still don't know, but yes, he's definitely coming on. It's going to be in a couple of weeks.
Yep, we're there. We're with it.
And we'll leave plenty of time. But it'll probably be the second half of the show. So for instance, me and James will probably do like an hour, us sort of talking our usual sort of guff.
Yeah.
And then he'll come on because he's going to finish his show and then come on 2 hours. Hold on. So Lisa, oh sorry, yeah, I keep forgetting you put the questions down there. Do you guys ever watch other YouTubers like Rick Beato, Dave Simpson, etc.? Unfortunately, YouTube for me is a bit of a
research.
Huh?
Research.
Oh man, I just love sort of getting halfway through editing a video and then just going, oh, let's watch a bit of YouTube. Just going, it's like I need to stop. It's like an addiction. I've got to stop. Okay. Rick Beato and Dave Simpson. I watch other YouTubers.
Yeah.
I think Dave Simpson's a lovely bloke. He comes across as a really, really nice bloke. I'm not saying that about Rick Beato. No, James has met Rick Beato. No, I mean, he's great. Rick Beato is an incredibly talented man. He's an incredibly talented man.
Great musician, great producer, engineer. I watch Tim Pierce from time to time, although I have to admit, it's okay. So I'm gonna blow the whole world of YouTube wide open right now. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you all sitting comfortably?
It's exciting.
Right. People have YouTube videos and YouTube channels to sell you stuff.
I disagree with that. I don't. I disagree with that.
No. A great many of the YouTubers out there are there is an intent to sell you stuff. It is a model called gravy for the brain. It is a well documented model that so how many times on social media have you seen, join us for our 1 hour free seminar where we will give you the 4 keys that you need to make money out of your whatever, cat food, your studio, your whatever. What they then do is you watch what you think is a live webinar, but it isn't, because it's running in 7 different time zones all the time, and all the questions are being fed and being answered that are pre-recorded, pre-sent. I am not making this stuff up. It is all pre-planned. You are watching a playback video. They're going to tell you that what you need to do is sign up for the course, which will cover 180 hours of knitting with mother and making lemon jam and all. It doesn't matter. It's the same model. A classic. There is a classic one in the UK at the moment. Scott's Bass Lessons work on this process. They will sell you a course. They will tell you the course is $1,000, but all of a sudden, magically, if you sign up within the next half hour, you'll get it for $500. But I'm going to do one better than that. You're actually going to get it for $250. That's how they make money. There is nothing wrong with that, because 9 times out of the 10, the courses are really good and really useful, but it's a well-documented, well-recognized model called gravy for the brain. It was developed by the voiceover guy, Peter Dixon. It's his company. It was his thing originally. That's where he made his money, on top of being the voice of X Factor. So we all do the like, subscribe, sign up. Warren Hewitt, Produce Like a Pro. He's got his academy, the Produce Like a Pro Academy, that he wants you to sign up to. Rick's got his book and his courses. Who is blonde guy that you've met? Inner Circle. Bobby Zinski.
Oh, Bobby Zinski. Yeah.
Bobby Zinski. It's all about selling courses. It's all about selling online tuition. There is nothing wrong with that. Tuition is the best thing you can spend your money on, in my humble opinion. Forget gear, forget pedals, forget guitars. Buy tuition. Tuition is the thing that's going to make you better at whatever it is you do. Be that baking, crochet, guitar, production. It doesn't matter. Buy tuition. But
God,
let's.
I bet Lee's wishing he never asked, because I don't even know where this is going.
But it's not going anywhere. But you've got to. Don't watch these guys thinking they're doing it for the love of music or for the love. A lot of them are doing it to make money. A lot of them. Not all.
Can I just say, I do actually believe Dave Simpson does do it for the love of it. I don't think he's got any hidden agenda.
I don't know Dave Simpson, so I can't really say. So
yeah. I think he's he comes across as a very nice guy.
But I have just blown one of the biggest quote unquote secrets of social media and how to make money out of social media is you become a the phrase is you become an expert in your field. You get yourself a following, you sell them a course. That's how to make money. I don't like that as a model. People have approached me to do it, to be the face of a course that someone else has written. I'm like, no. But I do watch a lot of YouTube. I watch far too much YouTube, and I probably watch the wrong sort of YouTube in a good way. There's one YouTuber I really like called Supercar Blondie because I like cars. There you go.
Well done. Right.
Sorry,
where are we? Because
relax.
God.
Sorry.
Tick off on one. Toya was in my hometown, Worthing, a couple of nights ago. Oh, mate, I was down in Worthing a couple of days ago.
Awesome.
Nice. Yes. Shahar Bar says, when Tony Levin pulls out the Chapman stick, I get moist, and I'm a man. I do like Chapman stick.
Nick Beggs for me is the ultimate Chapman stick player.
Yeah, I know the guy. Yeah,
it's good.
Next one.
Anyway, moving on.
Went to listen to a King Crimson in Paris Olympia in 2018. It was a great one. Wow, full house, awesome. Nice one, Safi. Toya's a naughty minx. Have you seen their Sunday lunch? Yes, she's absolute filth. Are you laughing at?
Just the whole.
Yeah. She's a naughty minx. Yeah. Didn't she look great for her age? Didn't she? Absolutely amazing. Yeah, she's amazing. MVP Tahil says, "Hey gents, no questions. Just glad to catch the live stream, and thanks for all the vids. Because of Studio Rats, I learned how to get great tones from my two Katanas. Oh, thanks, mate. I'm really pleased that helped. That's brilliant.
Wicked, we like that.
Michael MC Michael, does dropping from 10 gauge strings to 9 require a setup? Can you do harm by simply changing strings? You won't do any harm whatsoever, but you probably will require a setup, because what happens is, especially if you've got a think of your guitar neck, and I'm not going to do a very good job here. Think of your guitar neck being straight, and it's under tension on 10 strings. Okay, when you've got 10 gauge strings on it, it's under tension. When you take those 10s off and you put 9s on it, it's not under as much tension. So you'll probably find that
you get some bottoming out. You get some bottoming out on some of the notes.
Yeah, you're going to bottom out. So you just need to adjust the truss rod. Truss rod adjustments are nothing to be frightened of if you've never done it. Just don't go nuts. It's literally just you put the truss rod in. You put the Allen key in, give it a little tweak. Which way?
I would say away from
anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. A tiny little tweak, quarter of a turn, and you'll probably find it's absolutely fine. If you're worried about it, take it to a guitar luthier or someone that's done it before. It's an easy job.
Even someone like Guitar or Peach or someone like that who's got a setup person in store will do that for you and won't charge you the earth.
Absolutely. Simon Cook, I've got a Boss chorus and a DD3. Thanks. Nice one. Oh, what's that for the?
That'll work.
Yeah. For the double denim gig.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's know how it goes. Lee says, any opinions on Friedman amps and pedals? Yeah, Friedman amps, brilliant. Friedman pedals, great. I've had a Friedman small box 50. Really good.
That was a nice.
Really nice amp.
Nice guitar. That Friedman guitar you had was not. You've had a couple, haven't you?
I've had a couple of Friedman guitars, yeah. Yeah, really good amps, really good pedals. Expensive. I don't know where you are, Lee. In the UK, they're quite expensive. But yeah, really good. Any new gear of you guys?
Obviously, Stephen was not in for that. I do have one piece
of
gear.
Come on. Yeah, what was that? Because I didn't see this.
Right, so it's not very exciting, if I'm totally honest, but it's quite a cool thing for studios, and quite a cool thing to be able to right.
What
So
is it?
it's these two little red boxes
Ooh.
by a company called Sound Tools they're called cat boxes.
Oh,
Now,
God, what's this?
right, so there is a male version and a female version.
Right.
And they transmit analog audio over Cat 5. Now, did you know that Cat 5 it's just a cable format? It's not analog digital. It's just a cabling format,
I didn't know that.
you can transmit four balanced signals across Cat 5. So I have a male one at one end and a female one at the other end. But of course, that's effectively 4 microphones, 4 lines, 4 whatever across a network cable, which could be 100 meters long. And a network cable at 100 meters long is a damn sight cheaper than a multi-core that's 100 meters long.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. I do think that's quite exciting. The only thing that I would like to say is, but surely, like, you know, the little thin cables you get, like Cat 5 cables.
Yeah.
It can't be transmitting like decent quality signal, can it?
Absolutely. It's because of the way the gubbins that's going on here. It needs phantom power at one end. So ideally you're using it for microphones or whatever.
Okay.
But it is pretty much bomb-proof. I've got a 100-meter roll of on a drum of Cat 5 with Ethicons on. You can use normal kind of RJ45 cables, but I've got Ethicon ones.
Yeah.
And you can also parallel. So if you wanted to send 4 mics into the first one, take a tap out, and then send it to another one, have another 4 out of the same thing, it could be a Y split effectively as well.
Without any quality loss?
Without any quality loss. These are very good box. They're 120 quid a box.
I don't think that's too bad.
They do. Now, the reason I've got them is obviously for cheer, because we want to be able to put long cable runs in, and multi-core is an issue, and this stuff, and Cat 5 is dirt cheap. But in the studio, they do wall box versions.
Nice.
And I'm thinking of putting some round the new studio. So I can have basically analog Cat 5 round towards the back, have a couple of patch bays out. Jobs are good.
So what you're saying is, with that, because my internet runs out of my studio down to my house.
No, you can't use internet. You can't use. It has to be a dedicated Cat 5 line. It's not your network. It's not Dante or anything like that. It just uses the Cat 5, Cat 6, Cat 7 cabling protocol. It's not the internet.
Awesome. Okay, understood. Nice.
But
nice.
Very useful, very handy. I mean, even for just to get some more mic lines from there to here easily without running like bloody great multi-core lines.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Nice job. Is TC Electronic done without Thor? Without Tor?
Nothing to do with Tor. It's to do with them being bought by Behringer.
Yeah, but Tor is he did a lot of the designs for the pedals.
Yep, they are. I can't say what I want to say because we'll be sued and taken off air. But no, Tor is now Captain Universal Audio and doing very well there indeed. Good stuff. Yeah.
Next, we haven't done any news yet.
Haven't. We'll get there. We're nearly at the bottom of the list.
I'm addicted to YouTube. Yeah, tell me about it, mate. It's bad, isn't it? Good gravy. The 4 keys to success are SUC.
No, I don't know either.
I'm sure with Shahar it's got some sort of meaning.
It's going to be. It's going to come back.
Afternoon, John. How you doing, mate? John Randall says, I have a PV Classic 30 that I use occasionally in my bedroom. Bought it years ago thinking 30 amps wouldn't be loud. Any suggestions for an overdrive pedal that I can use at low volume with it?
That particular amp, because I had one for a while, a PV Classic 30. I had the little head, which was great.
Yeah.
And I flogged it because a friend of mine sold me a Synergy amp. Thanks, Paul. And I used to use, well, to be honest, a tube screamer or a tube screamer type thing sounded great in front of it.
Yeah.
Quite a neutral amp. It's quite a neutral sound. It's not particularly one thing or t'other. It's just a really good sounding amp.
I thought they were really good and they're made quite well. Yeah, I'd say any sort of overdrive pedal of your choice. Just trying to think. If you want something like, as you know, like sort of just to push it onto that sort of driven tube sound, tube screamer, definitely. If you want something more driven, I tell you what, those, yeah, if you want something like that's really sort of pokey and overdriven, is the talking about Friedman stuff, the Friedman BEOD.
Yeah,
that would work nicely with it.
If you like a more modern-y, metal-y sound, try the Rev stuff.
Oh,
Rev
yeah.
pedals. That the Rev Red I've got is awesome.
Nice. Yeah. Shahar says, pardon my ignorance, but where can I check out what you guys do? Or where are your songs posted? Do you do ads, jingles, produce other people's stuff? So, yeah. So my job, should I say my job, is I'm a producer. So that's what I do. So I've got a company called DWB Music with two other guys, and we do stuff all over the world, really. But yeah, I think I've told the story before, haven't I?
Probably, but I mean, you know, you've written for a lot of multi-million selling artists.
Yeah, a lot of
Would you say
a lot?
Say you're a songwriter, producer, or just a producer engineer, or where's your?
I don't know anymore. I honestly don't know. I'm a YouTuber now, I think. I'd say the thing that I enjoyed doing more than anything was probably mixing stuff more than producing stuff. Yeah. And anyway, just to fill you in. So I got a little bit what's the word? Anyway, yeah. So, and it sounds really wrong to say that. The things that the company's been going for some time, and I got to the stage where I didn't want to write pop music anymore because we do a lot of pop music, and so that's why I started doing this. And James and Dan, a bass player, got involved, and we decided to do some songs and do it that way. But yeah, I mean, if you want to check out, I tell you what, the stuff that go and have a listen to some of the Studio Rat stuff, Shahar. It's on.
If you put the Studio Rats into YouTube, you will find the Studio Rats playlist.
Do the songs. Go to the songs playlist.
Yeah, or even just on iTunes. Ask for the Studio Rats on iTunes. You'll find the first 7 or 8 songs we did with various artists.
So Shahar likes metal and stuff. What's the one we did with Chris from Hero?
From Hero, I can't remember the name of the song. So I mean, you know, most of it's kind of. I would say we're pop rock. I would say most of the time.
Yeah,
because of the way we play and the sounds we choose, I would say we're definitely pop on the verge of rock, and that one was particularly metally and quite cool. The stuff we've done with Jack Rubinacci's has tended to be bad salady rather than rock.
When he says bad salad, that's a
ballad.
What is it? A sad ballad. That's it. That's good. Jack writes. Yeah, the stuff that Jack writes is like sort of emotional, you know.
Yeah,
and the stuff that I tend to give to Jack, because Jack's really strong. He's really strong at that sort of stuff. Great, awesome. Yeah, very talented guy.
The whole point of the Studio Rats was basically to put real players and real musicians behind singer-songwriters who are good at what they do, and we could then bring our musicianship, musicality to the project. And we've done 10, 12 tracks now. We really should put the album out,
Now I've got there's another one. I've got an idea for an Abbey song actually. So
the one, our big success to date is with a Belgian artist called Sabine Teals. That song done Wildest Ritme did very well.
Yeah, that's probably my least favorite of all of them, to be honest.
But
then it was that sort of thing.
It was anyway. In Flemish as well, which didn't help.
That doesn't help, does it? Anyway, let's move on.
Oh, so you get to tell the world about what you do, and I just get to sit here and listen, do I?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, because he's asking about do you do ads, jingles, produce other people's stuff? Yes. So sorry, I thought that was more. Okay, yeah. James, please talk. Please talk. I thought this was all about. I thought this was all about me. I didn't know it was about you as well.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, right, fine. No, I make videos. Great. I make videos and play drums. Thanks. Just put James Ivy into YouTube. Him comes up the most. Actually, there's an artist in America, artist as in paint, called James Ivy, and he comes way higher than I do.
Is he? Right. Do you want to explain any more?
Not really, no. I was only winding.
I know. Lee says, I will say I find Rob Chapman very annoying. His band had gear nicked. They crowdfunded after pleading poverty. Rob then bought a $5,000 PRS. He did get called. Yes, we remember that. Yeah. The thing is, when you're Rob Chapman didn't need to crowdfund anything.
No.
Because he does enough work for companies that companies would go use our gear. That was a bit of a bad show. That was.
Yeah, well, he also did spend quite a long time trying to reverse any of those words, didn't he? He's been Let's not dwell on it. If anybody wants to go Google Rob Chapman and just Google Rob Chapman faux pas, and I think you'll pretty much find those. Yeah. This is a good segue, Paul.
Okay. Yes.
Yes. No, you can't.
Yes. No. No. So yes, every week we do this. So can you share?
I can. If you put something up on the thing, I'll share it.
So the news is, can you see?
Yes.
Isn't that great news?
It deserves one of those.
Absolutely. I don't know how much he had to fight Behringer for the name. But anyway, Tom Oberheim has finally got the Oberheim name back. Behringer had it for a while and has now got it back. Was there a lawsuit, James? Do you know?
I believe words were had of an official nature. I suspect letters were sent, and they were very expensive letters.
Yes. Yeah. Which it is good news. It is really good news. Okay. Next one.
Yep.
Hold on.
That's a lot of money.
In 1977, Les Paul Deluxe was not even really known for like a good year for Les Pauls. So he sold that, which is the Don't Stop Believing guitar, which is obviously iconic for that reason. So good. Yeah, great guitar player though. 250, but
44 years old, that guitar.
Yeah, but it's 59 Les Paul went for 350. See, that doesn't make sense. Like only $100,000 difference.
Yeah, but that guitar didn't go.
True. It's so true. But anyway, please.
I can do it. No, I'm not going to.
Once more, please. It'd be great. Nice. Yeah. So, but if you ever look at this, it's been butchered, isn't it? Look at this. It's got a sustainer in the neck. He's put a Floyd Rose on it. It's got some sort of weird switching going on down here. I don't know what's going on with that guitar.
Not what you'd call original condition, is it?
No, but yeah, I mean, that's proper butchered. But look at the 59. Look at that.
That is a bit lush, isn't it?
Oh,
but that's
We
the
like that.
£350,000 guitar.
Yeah, but that's it. You know, that's basically the same as Greenie, which
Yeah.
we'll talk about in a minute.
Yep.
Anyway, let's go back.
Didn't Greenie belong to Gary Moore at one point, or is that?
Well, yeah, Pete Green gave it to Gary Moore. I don't know if Gary Moore gave him any money for it. I don't know. And then obviously Gary Moore passed away, and I don't know, his estate probably sold it, and Kurt Hammett bought it.
Yes. So Fender.
So you know the Tone Master amps. These are their digital modeling amps, but they only model one amp. So they've got a twin, they've got a deluxe, and now they've just brought out the Super Reverb. The great thing about the Super Reverb is that it's 4x10.
Yep, lovely.
But it only weighs, because that, you know, the original Super Reverb was, as you can imagine, carrying around 4x10 and the amp.
I used to play with a guitar player who was a Stevie Ray Vaughan super fan, and he carried with him a proper Super Reverb, and it was, I mean, there are planets that weigh less.
So they don't talk about the weight, but you can, because it's basically the Tone Master, and it uses what are the lighter speakers, James? Neo ones. Yep. So it's got 4 Jensen speakers. Absolutely awesome. Can't wait to try that.
It's going to be bloody loud if it's anything like the original.
Yeah, monstrously loud. Yeah.
We
next one.
We often had to put the guitar, the drums and the bass through the PA. We never had to put the guitar through the PA.
Yeah.
Ever.
So loud.
Ever.
Yeah. What do you think?
I actually kind of like it. I didn't think I would, but I kind of do.
I quite like it.
Yeah.
I think it really worked without the Bigsby, but they put the Bigsby on it now. But it's an American-made guitar.
Very surf, very kind of Fender, jazz mastery, sort of Jaguar-y, that sort of style. I really like it.
Yeah. So yeah, new guitar. Well, it isn't a new guitar; it's a guitar that they've already had. Harmony have had, but they put a Bigsby on it now, and it's $1,549 for a USA-made guitar. Yeah, good. I mean, I don't know what, you know. I didn't really want to talk about this because every YouTuber has done a video on it.
Yep.
And so, yeah, we don't really need to talk about it. But yeah, the new.
I didn't even know who the guy was.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good actually. Really unusual style guitar player. Really good. Really talented.
Yeah, very different. But why? But the cool thing about him being different is the sound choices, the way he plays, the way he picks his tones and what. There was lots of kind of really short, almost electronica style sounds in the demo file, the demo track they used for this track. Yeah. And I'm thinking, that's his KSP, that's his thing. He's just basically given away the keys to his originality.
Yeah.
Now, I know, once again, it's all about these. I know that. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I didn't get it. I mean, it's pink. Great. I thought you'd like it.
I do. Yeah, I love it. So that's like the Marshall sort of style one. But how great is that? That does look good, doesn't it?
It looks really cool, but it's just no. I don't know.
Nice design. I think it's a really, really nice design.
Anyway. I'm probably missing something in the grand scheme of things, but the track was great. The guy can obviously play. I'd never heard of him.
Yeah.
I am 44 though, and I clearly don't watch enough YouTube.
Yes. Right. I don't know what to say about this.
Well, neither of us are keyboard players, and neither of us are going to run out and buy one. But the truth of the matter is, they are doing a really good job of making keyboards that no one could actually afford to buy anymore affordable.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And the one thing they are doing is keeping the second-hand market of those original boards alive.
Yeah.
Because truth of the matter is, if you buy an old Moog, and notice I said Moog, or a Prophet, or a Juno, and we're talking an old one.
Yeah, yeah.
They are practically unavailable because the components degrade. I mean, a memory moog is in tune for about half an hour a week.
Shocking, yeah, absolutely.
Lucky. Yeah, analog synths are, especially digital recreations of analog synth, or like the memory moog.
Yep.
They're horrifically expensive. They are impossible to maintain. Buy one of these for a fraction of the price and probably 97% of the sound.
Yeah. Okay.
You're Jordan Rudess, if you're Jordan Rudess, whoever you like, then buy the real thing and have your tech look after it 99% of the time.
Absolutely.
Yes, I saw this and I liked it a lot.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So
Yeah,
not very
nice.
guitar-y, but yeah. So API is new. They've started using tubes, which is quite exciting. I think the EQ looks cool, doesn't it?
Is it going to sound API though? Because the whole thing about APIs, it's not tube.
Yeah, I agree. It'd be interesting to see what it sounds like. Do you know what the prices are?
Probably expensive.
Yeah. So what does it say? It doesn't say. Does it
Maybe
say?
like pedals. That sounds like fun.
Hey, I tell you what, the EQ is 1295.
That's not bad for a Valve EQ.
And the dual compressor is 1295 as well. Wow, that's really good.
Yeah,
excellent.
Gonna be nice,
right? Oh, I don't know. I saw this and I thought you might want to talk about it.
Yeah, what's interesting is I contacted a mutual friend of ours who works for Apple, and I said I want to buy a new MacBook Pro, and he went, "Hold off. Do you need one?"
Okay.
Because I bought an iPad I bought an iPad Pro right at the end of the last run of iPad Pro, and he went, "Are you sure you can't hold off for a couple more weeks?" And I went, "No, I really can't. I really needed the iPad Pro right there and then to do a video." And it's not going to make any difference to me, but to be honest,
no,
this will make a difference to me.
Yeah, it's going to be a monster, isn't it? I think that's it's now getting to the stage where I think you can basically just have that and that running business.
The machine I'm talking to you on now is still great, but when I tried to run 2 DAWs and a video editing platform on it at the same time, it didn't like it.
Right,
it went,
okay.
Whoa, and things start, and it's not the software, it's all the stuff that goes with the software that makes it stutter and struggle. So yeah, this is going to be exciting. I can wait till October.
Yep, cool. I'm guessing you've heard about this because you said I've got a couple of things to talk about. Gibson, have you heard this one?
I hadn't. No.
Oh, right. So you've got something else to talk about Gibson.
Yeah.
So Gibson serves Mojo Effects a cease and desist over the Mr. O pedal name.
It's bizarre.
Gibson
haven't had a fight on their hands for a couple of weeks, so they thought their few big announcements haven't gone down as well as they thought they should do. Therefore, they're going to throw their toys at the playpen and see if they can get some news on their side this way. I don't know.
I thought it was disappointing. The Gibson would need to do that. I mean, it's like a small pedal building company. Just leave them alone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're never going to challenge you. They're never going to challenge the might of Gibson.
No, it's just it's a bit big. Right, I was really excited about this.
Oh,
right. This for me is like the most exciting thing of the week. So I left it to the end. So Pencer Sir started in I think it's like a New York sort of custom shop.
Yeah.
And they built stuff for like the you recognise that it's like the Mark Knopfler sort of model.
That is awesome.
Is that I absolutely love it. If it didn't have the Floyd Rose, and there it is.
Oh, look at that!
Isn't that great? Isn't it?
That's beautiful. That is a guitar. That's almost a guitar I'd put in a cabinet and not touch because it's so.
All right, dentist. Yeah, but and interesting is that they're going back to their roots by using EMG pickups, and which personally I like EMG pickups.
Yeah.
If you listen to that the Mark Knopfler album, is it on Every Street where he was using this guitar?
Yeah,
it sounded great. But that's for
all,
me
and
because their trem's really good, huh?
they're not stupid money either. They're
Oh,
not.
mate, they're quite expensive.
Yeah, but they're not stupid money.
No. I hear you. I hear you. They're actually probably cheaper than they would have been
Back
back in
then.
the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But really nice looking guitars. That's me done.
Well, I haven't got anything to show because that's what happens when I try and show. But two things to talk about.
Yeah.
Obviously, we talked a bit about Gibson, big Gibson becoming a record label.
Yeah.
Sounds strange. And then Gibson start talking about one of their new artists to have a Gibson guitar signature model, Kirk Hammett of Metallica. Again, bit of a curveball.
It does seem that what they're doing is that they're throwing.
They're basically collecting up they've seen my record collection from when I first started playing guitar, and they've gone, he's onto something there. So they've got Slash, they've then got Kirk Hammett from Metallica. I mean, if they get Gary Moore, I'll be well on this. And then Eric Johnson is clearly next to be signed to the Gibson record label. That'd be awesome.
But why do you think? There's one reason why they've signed, for me, that they've signed Kirk Hammett, which is for what?
I have absolutely no idea.
Greenie.
Yeah, because he's got it, hasn't he? He's got it now.
So what they're going to do, they're going to do their little clever scan of Greenie and recreate Greenie, which is like the most expensive guitar. Actually, it's not the most expensive guitar now, but
no,
and that's going to be amazing.
Was
sorry?
David Gilmour's charity auction was the most expensive now, wasn't it? Yeah, weird one, very weird.
But they've started off. So I thought somewhere that they released an Explorer, a really bland looking black Explorer, which I was just like, oh, I'm not interested in that.
I'd have a black Explorer. I'd have a white one over a black one, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
every time the GAK ads come up and they've got the Explorer in stock, I'm like, oh, but it's $3,500 and I can't afford that on a guitar.
So when they do Greenie, it's going to be. I mean, I reckon it's going to pay back. It's going to pay back the huge amount that he spent on it.
It's going to be a 50. It's going to be a $50,000 guitar, isn't it? It's going to be a 50.
Oh, you think it's going to be 50?
Yeah, I reckon it'll be $50,000 guitar to buy it.
I think it'll be 25.
And I reckon they'll do a limited run of 100 tops, and they'll sell them all within a fraction of a second.
Like that, absolutely like that, because all the collectors will buy them.
Instantly, they'll be worth $100,000.
Without a doubt, that's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Gibson will keep 5 back for a 25th anniversary release and sell the last 5 for £500,000 each, or something ridiculous. Which, of course, they'll then sell in a fraction of a second as well, because there are idiots out there who have that sort of money to throw around. Anywho, that is what we often call the news, and I'm just going to post this one very quickly. There we go. That's quite enough of that.
Right, where do we? Is that okay? Okay, yeah. So we're on.
Yeah,
you're in line for the next one. Okay.
Yeah.
Simon says, took my 2004 US Strat to a local guitar tech. He told me the truss rod was maxed out when I picked it up. Found out after the bolt had been rounded off. Needs a new neck now. Oh man.
A good lutherer or luthier, depending on where you're from, is worth his weight in gold. Find someone good. I'm lucky I've got a guy who I trust with my guitars, so yeah.
I'm sure it's fixable. I'm sure they could probably take the truss rod out, and I mean, I'm guessing I've never.
Might as well buy a new neck.
Probably. If it's a 2004 US Strat, it's getting your neck.
Yeah.
It probably would be cheaper.
I'm just going to post that one as well.
Agree with Elise about Rob.
Yeah, there we go.
You said to change the strings on an Epiphone Les Paul custom 9s or 10s for rock and grunge. What makes strings?
10s for that stuff, because you're going to be a bit heavy-handed. I would
Yeah,
say.
the thing about the scale length of a Les Paul is it's a shorter scale length, so strings feel very light on a Les Paul. Nines on a Les Paul would feel absolutely bonkers.
Oh, yeah.
But even Billy Gibbons uses sevens, doesn't he?
Don't know. I used to play when I was playing every night of the week. I was on 11s, and I was bending because I was playing so much. I had fingers of steel.
Steel.
Yes. And on my, I don't even know what the scale length on my Eggle is. I think it's a Gibson scale length. I think
Probably.
it's quite a small little kind of
guitar.
And I had 11s on that, and I didn't break them. But I was, I was playing lots of Gary Moore type of big bends and stuff. Yeah. So you will find as your fingers get stronger, you either do as I do and dig in harder, or you then realise that you need to go to the Tim Pierce school of play lighter, let the guitar speak better, and not mute the guitar effectively by playing overly hard.
There has been a bit of a thing recently where people are saying nines sound better than tens. I don't know about that. I use tens, and especially on a Les Paul, even tens on a Les Paul do feel very light compared to say like a Strat. Tens on a Strat. So if you're on a Les Paul, I would go tens at least. Huh?
I'm not a good enough guitar player for anyone to say his tens sound better. They just say you sound terrible.
Next one. Chapman guitars. Never played one.
No, likewise. Never have. Never will, because certainly after tonight's show, he's never going to lend us one.
4 keys to success equals the keys on the key build. Oh, very good.
Yes.
That's all right. I'll stick to dick and fart jokes from here on out. Yeah, we like that. Here's your heart. They're bus drivers, really. What's bus? What?
Don't know.
Hold on. We will get this. We will get it in a minute. This is what we do. This is what we do, Simon. We end up saying, something will be said, and then yeah.
It's probably about Lutherers and people who should be careful. Because that was the last thing Simon said.
Okay.
Other than sit down.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Next one.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Lee says, "Do you have a favourite piece of music that you have worked on, most proud of?"
Yes.
That's a good question.
I think the thing I'm most proud of is normally the last thing that I've done, because you always want your skill set to get better. Every time if I write a song and produce something for an artist or work with an artist and it came out really well, the first thing I want to do is go back to the rest of the album and remix it using the latest trick or the latest thing that worked on that track. So it's probably, for me, it's some of the Rat stuff, because it sounds great what we've put together. I genuinely think what we've done sounds really, really good.
Well, let's pick the favourite Rat song then.
World Didn't Turn for me.
I think that's my favourite.
World Didn't Turn. Doesn't turn.
Yeah. Have a look Lee. If you never listen, it's called "What If the World Didn't Turn," and it's on the playlist. And the reason I like it,
featuring Ralph Madden.
Yeah. It was written in. I did and I was in a hotel room in Spain, and we wrote it and recorded the vocal in that hotel room in Spain. And you can see we recorded him, filmed him actually recording that vocal, and then used that vocal on the mix.
It's great. It's a really good song. Really, really good song. It's kind of Eagles as well, which kind of why I like it as well. There's an Eagles element in it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Next question, Mark Patterson. Guys, how do I make all of my preset volumes uniform on Katana? You just have to pick one volume and then match it to that.
Yeah.
Don't max out and then try and get everything else as loud as that. Just try and find like a decent don't make it maxed out, because you've got nowhere to go. If you're at a gig and you need to turn it up, you can't then turn it up. So just find like your lead tone always has to be louder than your rhythm tone. It's just the way it is, because you want to cut through. And if you've got an engineer, it's going to push you up a bit. Yeah. The Tone Master is 36 pounds is the weight. Nice. It has a power scaler, so it can go down to 0.5 watts. Awesome.
Wow. Very cool.
Awesome. That neural Tim Henson plugin is nuts. There's a 4-voice pitch shifter in there. It's insanely cool. Awesome.
Which I would never, ever use.
Yeah. K Michael P's in the house. Howdy, Michael P. K Michael P. Hope you well, mate. John Wallace says, I agree. Shahar Bart, the plugin is amazing. Awesome. Oh, I need to check it out. I wish Pro Tools would. Lee says, I wish Pro Tools would come out on iPad. The new Pros with the M1 chip can run it with ease. Yeah, absolutely.
There's still issues of interfacing, and where do you stick the iLock? Moving on.
The iLock, of course.
Yeah,
iLocks, yeah, of course.
And you can have iLock Cloud, but still, no.
Yeah. Mihu123 love Studio Rats, but this is boring. More Katana sounds, please. Sorry, we're not. Yeah. Oh well. Lee says life's too short for Floyd Rose. Absolutely, you're not wrong there, mate.
There's a space in everyone's life for a Floyd Rose. Mine has been and gone.
Yeah. Simon Cook says very hard to get hold of Fender necks at the moment, according to the guy in the guitar store, Southampton. No, you can order them. Just order them direct, mate. Order them direct.
That's not true.
Yeah. Order direct. It was a poor joke, meant what you two do really. Oh, okay. We're a couple of bus drivers.
Right. Yes. Something like
Pretty
that.
much. It's true.
Pretty
true.
I did actually think of changing my job description on my car insurance at one point from musician to transit van passenger, because by comparison I was spending a lot more time being the passenger in a van than I was actually on stage.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I bet we're boring to someone.
You know, you can't please all the people all the time.
True. It's true. Max Hodges says, reckon James would be most proud of his Gary Moore tribute efforts from about a decade ago.
I am a Gary Moore super fan. I love the guy.
True.
Yeah.
Lefty Mike says, is Cone Cry from Speaker Amp Simulator, so it's Speaker Amp Speaker desirable? And if so, can you tell me a track to listen to that demonstrates it? Thanks. Do you know what? You can do it on the aux. I've never used it on the aux. Don't like it.
It's funny. On the Synergy,
yeah,
with the Dumble module,
yeah,
you get it really, really easy. With any of the other modules, you don't get it quite so easily. So it kind of gives out a weird, very, very distant harmonic. Kind of like.
Oh.
It's like an tone in there. You go, what is that? But yeah, it kind of works. It's nice. I like it.
Nice. Okay. Nice. Stephen says, as a guitarist, if I wanted to play more bass, would it be better to play a short scale bass? Any suggestions? Would it be two different noticeable sounds to a full scale? No, not at all. Check out the Fender Justin Middle Johnson, the JMJ.
Melville Johnson. Yeah.
Melville G, the JMJ bass. Fender, brilliant. Really, really good. Dan's got one of them. Sounds
Dan loves it, and it sounds really cool. Yeah,
really good. Mark Patterson, thank you. That's basically what I've done. Thank you for your help. When will you be coming out with a new Mark II preset pack? Yeah, maybe I will do another one at some point. Probably not in the next month or so.
I might do one again. Do something clean, a bit more clean and effective, rather than something. I've got to get it out of storage because at the moment I've got nowhere to bloody put the thing. But in the new studio,
nice
times they will be different.
Bruce says, love Gary Moore. Also spent a lot of time working on getting his tone just right. Awesome, mate. Yeah, big. That's a big shoes to fill. Lee Abraham says, can you copy an iPad app? No, I don't think you can.
No.
That's really good. That's a good reason. That's okay.
Yeah, but there's still messes in there. Yes.
Here's a question. What is the likelihood of Keith Richards outliving Charlie, Mick, Ronnie, or a nuclear winter?
See, I've got a theory on this. I think Keith Richards is actually already dead. Just no one's told him. That's quite dark, wasn't it? No, I think the Stones will live forever.
I think they will. It's amazing, and it is amazing how he's still going. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, just thinking about the iLock thing. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, last question. If you could bring one guitarist back from the dead, oh, that's a good question.
Gary Moore. Flat. Gary Moore.
Oh, I've got to think now.
I worship. He's almost, him and Eric Johnson and Eric Clapton are almost the reasons I play guitar.
Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, Gary, that's a good shout.
Because he was also gone long before his time as well. Long before.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll go one different, but I do agree with you. Steve Ray Vaughan.
Another good shout. And again, similar reasons. Gone before his time.
Without doubt.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. The last of the.
I don't know. You got David before that.
I know. They jumped.
Keith has been dead for decades. It's not a guitar cable he uses in his teeth.
It's
in his telly. It's life support. Awesome. Cockroaches, Telecasters, and Keith Richards will still be here after the apocalypse. So true. Keith Richards must have made a deal with the devil to still be alive. It's true, isn't it? Oh, Jimi Hendrix. Well done, mate. That's so true.
See,
you're not a fan.
This is gonna make me a real heathen. I'm not.
Mate,
I'm not a huge Hendrix fan. I'm not a huge Hendrix fan. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Gary Moore's buried in Rottingdean.
There was a great track that Bonamassa put out this week. I think it was from the Ryman. Oh my God, what a band! What a band! Oh, I mean, that Bonamassa's got fingers, taste, and he can sing.
Brilliant. He's amazing.
And on that moment of guitar envy, I think it is time for us to. Well, in fact, quite frankly, I'm picking up the ball. I'm going home. It's my go. I'm off.
It's your ball.
It's my ball. I'm going home.
Steve Clark, needs a good shout.
He was glad all over. No, that's somebody else. That's Dave Clark. So we are not back next week because I'm on holiday. We will be back on the 18th. That is 2 weeks tonight, where I will probably not look any different because it will rain on for the next 2 weeks, because that's what happens when I go on holiday in the UK. I will send all your regards to the Isle of Wight. If you don't know where that is, you should find out. And if you're in the UK and you're jealous, then good. But we will see you on the 18th. That's Wednesday the 18th. Same bat time, same bat channel. My name's James Ivey.
I'm Paul Drew. I was Paul Drew.
Still is. And we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you very soon. Night.
Cheers, guys.